And score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal bat.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson. 53 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result. Like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Well, they got down 7-zip. They said, we'll go for 2, one up you, and they take the lead.
How about that for a little risk-reward, right? If you don't get it, you're only down a point. Let's go ahead and make a statement in this ball game, and that's exactly what they did.
And this is going to be covered up by the Redskins. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
70s Indy.
On first down, Smith. Pass incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
On second down, Peterson. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And the Lions will take over.
Everyone gears up for third down, talks about the importance of it. But fourth down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on fourth down.
Blue 50. Alert. At the 15.
looking to throw on second down. Stafford, and his throw is incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Back to throw. Stafford. Flush to his right. James has got it. Complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. A tight one. 8-7 our score after one on EA Sports. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford out to his left. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Stafford throws complete to Galladay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. On third down, Johnson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now Stafford, they'll get this one to Galladay. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. From the red zone now, Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Up 50. 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2. They'll try and run it right. And he is going to come up empty here as they stop him short of the goal line, and this will remain a one-score game as the lead holds at 7. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the two-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 11. To throw is Smith. Devon Kennard gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw, Smith. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report.
Ready, set. 61, match box, lights. Go.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And all the way down to the 39. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw. 5.
Off of play action. Here's Smith. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Peterson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. The give to Peterson out of the gun. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. Peterson. Peterson a 1st down and more. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. So we have reached, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Johnson, they're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On third down, Johnson. And some space here. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big run there by Johnson, 65 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run on first down. It's Johnson, and he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. They'll try the air now with Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay there to make the grab, and the Lions are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Fairly short kick taken at the 14 here. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit.
It got his man complete. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 44 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starting in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Eluding the pressure right. And the catch made by Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense.
On 1st down, it's Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford. Galladay's got it. And the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Johnson, and he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
It always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From the red zone now, Smith. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. And now it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Smith. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Terry McLaurin with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points. But he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Fourth touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time that maybe...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
And here come the Redskins now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that makes some adjustments.
The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop. Again, a run with Thompson.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. To Thompson on the draw. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Johnson. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They go to Johnson again. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford escaping and it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line.
Well, I get what he was. Right, and threw right into it for an interception.
Pressure gets to him. Able to get in there for his second.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time.
And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
To use him at this point. Forced out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, orbit. Go.
Smith going to throw again. Flush to his right. He's going to let it fly. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Defensively, they know the situation. They stack the line. Heck, that was a goal line set right there.
And it's the right play for them, exactly what they have to do. They want to take away every gap, every crack, and make sure no one can get through it. But here's the deal, though. You've worked on offense.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. A big run there by Johnson, and even 80 yards.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Stafford going to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Another try after the 1st down sack. Stafford. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Partner, I think the thing I'm going to take away from this game is that ending. Still hard to believe they score on the final play, and then for some salt on the wound, they go for 2 just to widen the margin.
Not to mention, they already had the lead when they scored on the final play. Football player. That might be the tiebreaker, but boy, what a way to finish it.